Hey everybody, happy Friday to everyone. It's Justice for Comics. It's time to review the CBSI Hot 10 list. This list comes out every Friday and it's always an interesting list. There's always a few books on there that are moving due to maybe rumors of a movie coming out or a TV series. Could be all kinds of things. So let's take a look. I think it's a pretty interesting list this week. Let me zoom in a little bit here. And we'll look at, we'll start off with the honorable mentions. First one here is Daring Mystery Comics number 3. We've got an Alex Schomburg cover, written by Joe Simon. A 2.0 graded book, or I'm sorry, a 2.0 raw copy. So somebody evaluated it and said it was a 2.0, but it's in raw condition. No, so non-graded. Sold for $7,200 this week. The last graded sale was in 2019 when a CGC 5.5 sold for $3,900. So, wow. I wonder what that 5.5 would sell for now. I mean, a 2.0 raw sold for $7,200. If you don't think there's inflation going on in the economy right now, all you got to do is look at comic books. This is one little microcosm that shows that there's major inflation in the economy, and it's definitely in the comic book collecting world right now. I mean, these prices are just unbelievably outrageous. It makes me think that maybe hedge funds are buying comic books. I don't know. Are there enough collectors out there that are spending this kind of money? You know, this is not a key book. This is not a book that is recognizable to a lot of people. So I find that very interesting. It is a cool cover, Alex Schomburg art. I understand why there's desirability to it, but I don't know. That's a lot of money for a low-grade copy of a book that pretty much nobody knows about. All right, the next one is Hulk Raging Thunder number 1. Raw copies are in the $10 to $15 range. Not too bad, not too expensive. 9/8s, however, are hitting $150. That's a pretty big jump from raw to graded. So don't be surprised if you see a lot of graded submissions of this book in the coming weeks and months. It is the first appearance of Lyra. Ben says you can look her up. I don't know if this is a character that is going to be appearing in the movie. It doesn't sound like it, but whatever. It's the first appearance, and I don't think I have that book in my collection. I don't recall that title, but that may be one to look for at your LCS, especially if you can find a high-grade copy. It might be worth getting it graded. Number 10 on the list is We Live number 5, the second print foil variant. I know this series, the first issue did really well. I do have a first print of this. I think it's up to issue 5 now. The story is really good. I haven't had time to read it yet, believe it or not. But second print, a lot lower print run, obviously. And it looks like there was a raw sale of $140. Looks like this says there was a buy-in was $25. So I don't know if this was ever for sale for cover price. Sounds like it was maybe a $25 book. It was limited to only 300. Oh, the 300 print run. Yeah, there you go. That's super low. So I can see why this is an expensive book. It is a series that a lot of people like. The first issue has been selling consistently in that $25 to $30 range. So yeah, the second print's going for way more than that, but very, very low print run at only 300. Number 9 is Bitterroot number 13. This book just came out about a week ago. Ben says, FYI, I have loved about every cover that has come out on this series. It's just a B cover, so yeah, it's not a ratio cover. It's selling at the $25 range right now. I don't like the cover. I don't think it's that great. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. So, but yeah, if I ran across that at a shop for cover price, yeah, I wouldn't mind buying it and flipping it. That's a good flip right there. So if you have that book, I would flip it. It's not an incentive cover. I don't think there's anything going on as in particular on that issue that's driving the price. I think it's just Bitterroots. They're going to be making a TV show or series. I'm not certain on that, but they did announce that it's in development. So that's probably driving the price right now. All right, number 8 is Marvel Comics Presents number 117. Got a nice Venom on the cover there. So this was a $5 to $10 book, now selling for over $30. Ben says, I don't understand the sudden interest. Do I say this too often? For those who don't know, I tend to miss a lot during the week to be able to find all the speculation reasons that some of these books, why some of these books explode. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, the cover's interesting. Just who knows? Who knows why a book goes up sometimes? It's very low inventory, maybe on eBay, and it gets bought up. I mean, it's not hard to manipulate comic books. I mean, if you've got a comic book that doesn't have a lot of inventory on eBay, and maybe there's a couple auctions, and a couple of your buddies get together and say, hey, let's manipulate the price of this book. It's not that hard to do. I've heard of people doing it. I don't know that it's illegal, but is it unethical? Yeah, maybe. Definitely, there's some ethical concerns there for sure. All right, number 7 is Captain America number 16. I believe I have that comic book in my collection. I have that run from 2006, 1 through whatever it was, 1 through 20. I think I collected of that series. Yeah, Captain America, that's when it was good. I think Brubaker needs to go back on Captain America. I'm not a big fan of Ta-Nehisi Coates writing on Captain America. I think Brubaker had the best take on it. Remember, he's the guy that created the concept of the Winter Soldier, co-wrote that with the artist, not Mike Perkins. Who was that artist? Sean Phillips. Is it Sean Phillips? It's the guy he always does. No, it wasn't Sean Phillips. I can't remember. Brubaker's the writer, though. It is a good series, but this is the villain Sin, I guess, could be potentially coming out in the next Captain America Winter Soldier, or it says villain in Captain America number 4, movie number 4. So selling around $50. So take note of that. Maybe you can find that in the back issue bin for cheap. That'd be nice. Number 6 is Infamous Iron Man number 1. Brian Michael Bendis, Alex Maleev. I did collect this series. In fact, I not only have that cover, I also have the 1 in 25 Ribbit cover, which is really, really nice. And that one is selling raw at $250, the Ribbit cover. So, man, I'm glad I have that. I actually have, I think, a couple of the incentive covers. There was another one for issue 3 or 4. I should have pulled those books out before I did this video. But yeah, I think this Infamous Iron Man series will do well. Tony Stark is likely to be brought back as artificial intelligence, and this is the first appearance of that in issue number 1. So make sure you look for that book. It's a book that was cheap for a long time, cover price. I mean, I'd see that in back issue bins all the time. Now selling around $50 raw, so take note of that. And if you can get the Ribbit cover at a good deal, I would try to pick that one up. Number 5 is Seasons Beatings, number 1, the Marko Jurcevic variant. Cool looking cover of Kang. Kang is going to be reportedly one of the major villain in one of, I think, Marvel Universe's, whatever their project is it? It's coming out in a couple years, so there's still a couple years away before you're going to see Kang on the screen. But it sounds like anything related to him is being kind of bid up in price. So now this is a $40 to $50 book. Probably could have found it pretty cheap until recently. But you never know. That might, if you look on eBay, maybe somebody will list it. It's not really aware of what the price is selling for. Looks like a book that's not out there that often. So keep your eye out for that one. Seasons Beatings number 1. Number 4 is Witches number 1. This is the Scott Snyder Jock series. I think it was a 4 or 5 issue series. I collected it. I thought it was pretty good. The writing was definitely creepy, horror type comic. I thought it was very, very good. Scott Snyder is one of those writers where he's good and then he's not good. This was one of the series where I thought it was actually pretty good. Of course, Jock has awesome artwork, so it's a good book to have in your collection. Looks like raw pricing is around $20 to $25 right now. A 9.8 will set you back about $200. I don't know. I could see this being developed into something on Netflix, something like that. So maybe that's why the price is starting to move. People are specking on all kinds of things these days. Number 3 is Hardcore number 1. Robert Kirkman, writing, art by Brian Stelfreeze. This is a series this came out several years ago. This is not, obviously this is an older. Top Cow, I think, is the publisher. It was selling for about $5 to $10 a book. Now it's, I guess, a 9.8 selling for around $60. Looks like, no, I'm sorry, raws have jumped to $40. And I don't know if there's been a 9.8 sale since then, so I don't know. It's going to be developed. Pilot season. It says, don't forget about that pilot season, 2009, that predates this issue and also has first from the Kirkman properties. So I'm not a big fan of Kirkman. I don't chase anything that has Robert Kirkman involved. Just don't think he's quite as good as everyone thinks he is. Walking Dead, in my opinion, was the only property that I know Invincible. A lot of people like Invincible. I didn't care for Invincible. I didn't think it was very good. I think Walking Dead was really good, and I'm glad he ended it because the last year or two of the writing kind of lagged a little bit. So I don't know. I tried some of his other series. Oblivion Song I didn't think was good. Kirkman to me is just not that good. He's not as good. He's like Brian Michael Bendis for me. Same thing. A lot of people think he's a good writer. I don't agree with that. I think he's mediocre at best. All right, number 2 is Ghost Rider, number 28, first appearance of the Midnight Suns. This was a book that I talked about well over a year ago. I bought a direct copy edition, high grade. I also was able to buy a newsstand copy. I think I paid around $10 to $15 for each. Pretty cheap. I remember years ago looking through back issue bins at a comic book shop and seeing these polybagged, probably 20 of them, 30 of them polybagged. So this is a high print run book from the 90s, 1992. Obviously the newsstand, if you go on eBay right now, there'll be 1 out of 20 listings will be a newsstand and will sell for around, people will ask anywhere from $60 to $75 in raw condition, depending on how good a condition the book is. But don't make the mistake of thinking that this is a low print run book. It's a super, super high print run book. So, I literally have seen short boxes full of these things. So just keep that in mind. There's not a problem finding a bunch of these out there. So print run was absolutely crazy high compared to what we see today. But somebody out there is spending a lot of money for a 9.8. Looks like $400 to $500 for a 9.8 right now. Man, whoever bought a bunch of those in polybagged, just can you imagine? $2 a piece. I think they were dollar bin books. Send those off to CGC. You can get $400 to $500 a piece. That is making some serious money. So anybody that has a bunch of those, this is a good time to get those graded. I would probably highly consider that. All right. There's also number 1 on the Hot 10 list is Something is Killing the Children, number 16, the Virgin 1 per store variant. So the regular cover looks just like that, except for this is the Virgin copy. Selling around $125 right now. I don't need to tell you, Something is Killing the Children is probably the hottest, no doubt about it, it's the hottest independent comic book property right now, and easily one of the hottest comic book titles right now in comics. There's no doubt about that. Issue 16 is going to be the origin of Rebecca Slaughter, the main character in the series. So, or Erica Slaughter rather, and this is an issue that obviously is getting attention. But the store variants, I mean, I think so far I'm up to at least 5 or 6 store variants of this issue. And you know me, I do like store variants. I buy them, but there's so many out there right now. There's probably 40 or 50 store variants of this issue. So I don't know. Is it oversaturation going to kill the series? It's a possibility. Prices are starting to fall on this series. You go to eBay right now, and we can do this. I did notice a price drop on issue number 1 a few days ago. Now maybe it's firmed up, I'm not too sure. The foil was like a $60 to $75 book for a while. Now there's a new listing for $37, so that's dropped a little bit. Yeah, the foil seems to be the most common listing. There is a 9/8 graded listing here at an auction, 4 days left at $213. Now I think the regular A cover graded and high grade 9/8 is still going to command quite a bit of money. I think it still sells for over $1,000. Yeah, here's one right now asking basically $1,100. But some of the second prints and third prints and some of the obscure printings, they have come down in price. I've noticed a big drop in some of those. So I think like issue number 2, second print. That one, I think that's one that, number 3 second print, yeah. Number 3 second print. I know that was a book that was getting up there. I think there was a couple sales in that $600 to $700 range. You can see now there's a buy it now for $400. Graded, obviously, people are asking some crazy pricing here. $1,400 for a 9/8. Another one asking $1,250, but basically only 3 listings. Not a lot of inventory. So I don't know. It's interesting. Everyone keeps asking. I get a lot of questions about this. Do you think Something is Killing the Children is gonna hold up in value? Obviously, no one knows. It is a great series. No doubt about it, they're going to option this. It'll be developed by somebody, Hulu, Netflix. Somebody's going to make this into a TV series, live action, animated. I have no idea which way it's going to go, but no doubt there will be a lot of interest continued in this series. Issue number 8, that's the one that's really kind of hard to find. The one in 25... Yeah, there's a couple listings still. All right, so raw condition, $1,500. This is the ultimate book from the series, which I'm proud to say I do have a copy in raw condition and ungraded, and it's definitely most likely a 9/8 copy. So this is one of those books that, yeah, I probably should get graded. I mean, here's a 9/8 signature series signed by DeCall. 1 day left on the auction. It's already up to $1,425. So this is probably going to sell for over $2,000, I would imagine. But look at the raws. I mean, there's only, 3 raw copies for sale. Buy it nows are basically $1,500 to $1,400. It looks like this one is the cheapest at $1,400. But they're also saying it's a near mint minus. They're saying high grade near mint minus. So obviously that means there's something wrong with it. There's a spine tick on it or something. But that's it. So if you really are hot for that book, that particular book, yeah, there's only 3, basically 3 raw listings and 1 graded listing. And the graded listing is probably going to settle above 2,000 if I had to guess. All right, guys, that's what I had for you. So a pretty interesting list this week. Comicbookinvest.com, CBSI. Make sure you check them out every week. I think they usually have a pretty nice list. I do have a few of those books in my possession. From the top 10, I've got number 2, number 4, number 6, 7, and that's it. So what do I got? 4 out of the 10, not too bad, 40%. All right, guys, hope you're having a good week. I might do a live stream on Sunday, so check my channel for that. I will send out notifications if I do. Hope everyone had a great week. Hope everybody is starting to enjoy their summer. I know it's getting very hot down here in Florida, so it feels like the summer months are upon us. And I can't wait for some rain. It hasn't rained at my house in probably a month. My grass looks like it's about to die. I've been watering the crap out of it and it still looks dead. So yeah, we need some rain down here in Florida. Hopefully sometime this month that will kick in. All right, guys, hope you have a great day and I'll see you soon.